I'd like to call the August 14th Planning and Zoning meeting to order, and would everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Posenel?
Here.
Commissioner Selberg? Commissioner Buck? Commissioner Zarmi?
Here.
Commissioner Walker? Commissioner Coletta?
Here.
Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Simons?
Present.
Commissioner Gordon?
Here.
And Chairman Flouché.
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I just have our standard announcements to make today. Anyone who has not yet signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete the request to speak form, which is also located in the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you wish to speak on, including sub-items. Please note that there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisle, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There's also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, please have 17 copies and give them to the staff member in the back of the auditorium. She's back there. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the table with the overhead camera next to the podium to present your documents. If you want your document to go on record, you must hand them over to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item clearly marked on the document. Members of the public cannot talk or speak to staff members that are sitting in the table with microphones during the meeting. If you have any questions, please see the staff member in the back of the auditorium who can meet you in the lobby. A timer will be activated and all speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentations and statements. Everyone, please either turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate. If you must receive a phone call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with the recommendations made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, September 3rd at 9:30 a.m. in the same location, with the exception of any continued items. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed curb to curb. Also, only bottled water is allowed in the auditorium. No food, soda, coffee is allowed in the auditorium. If any of the any items are remaining on the agenda, the Commission will join or adjourn for lunch at 1 o'clock. Approval of the July minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve July minutes as is.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 1.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. This is an evaluation of a request for amendment to the South Mohave Valley Area Plan. Is that coming through all right? Okay. From a commercial land use designation to a single-family residential land use designation to allow a residential lot for assessors parcel number 224-24-090 in the South Mohave Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval based on the staff report, and I need to also mention that we did receive one letter of comment on this project. Unsure whether it was for or against it. It was a little unclear exactly what the request was. Thank you.
You're correct. Thank you. Is the applicant present? We have no speakers on the item. Any discussion of the commission?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a question. The letter of opposition was stating that the one we got late, like yesterday or before that, stated that, you know, their understanding was it's going from residential to commercial and would create a traffic, which is not the case. It is basically going from commercial to residential. I just want to make sure that we make a note on that one. The other question I have is that the existing buildings, are those going to be used as a residential?
Yes, my understanding in conversations with the applicant is that they're going to remain as residential, well, they're going from commercial use currently, and they're going to use them as private garages. And then, of course, there's an existing residence inside one of the garage buildings that was approved through a previous zoning use permit. So they would then be used as a residential sort of garage.
Well, the question I have is that, you know, is the building department going there to make sure that the minimum requirement that we have for the SFR would be satisfied there, like kitchen, showers, and all those things?
There was a building permit pulled for the residential portion of the garage, and it has been, gone through the permit inspection process and been approved. So I'm presuming that it does meet all the requirements.
Okay. Thank you. No question.
Any additional questions or comments of the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve per staff recommendation.
A second.
We have a motion and a second for item number 1. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2,
1B.
I'm sorry, 1B. Thank you.
Item 1B is an evaluation of request for a rezone of assessor parcel number 224-24-090 from a C2H general commercial highway frontage zone to an R1 20M single-family residential 20,000 square foot minimum lot size zone to allow a residential lot in the South Mohave Valley vicinity. And again, we had the same letter from the, comment letter from the neighborhood. Thank you. Oh, and staff recommends approval per staff recommendation. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? We have no speakers on the item. Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve item 1B per staff recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item 1B. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2.
Item 2 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 306-41015J from an AR2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR agricultural residential 1-acre minimum lot size zone to allow creation of 2 residential parcels in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission?
Frank McCafferty, Mr. Chairman, commission members. It's just a very simple 2-acre to a 1-acre split for residential purposes. I'm going to entertain any questions you may have.
Any questions of the speaker from the commission? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have no speakers on the item, or additional speakers, I should say. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve item 2 according to staff recommendations.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for item number 2. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Item number 3.
Item 3 is an evaluation of a request for a zoning use permit on assessor's parcel number 215-02242 for a secondary residence in an AR2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval of the zoning use permit as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission?
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, I have questions from
Yes.
the application.
Would you like to come up? We have a couple of questions here.
Mr. Chairman.
Please state your name.
Carol Beezer, owner.
Ma'am, I see different buildings under your property. Are those already residential, or could you explain what are those buildings?
One's a freestanding garage, and the other one is a 538 square foot
Second home.
casitas, which is what I'm living in currently.
So you already have it, the second residence is already there,
Correct.
okay? And there is a comment about, from the environmental health about the septic permit. Are you planning to, have you addressed that?
When I went and applied for this permit, they said it was approved because originally when we brought the septic in, we were going to put a 4-bedroom house on the property with this casitas.
Okay.
But we did it backwards and we put the casitas first. Now we want to do the 3-bedroom house.
Is that okay?
Yeah, should be.
Okay. Says, because your comments there was, at this date, no application has been submitted for additional residence.
Chairman, Commissioners, Commissioner Azarmi, when I first looked at the proposal, I too basically read it backwards instead of forwards, what was existing. And I had assumed that because it said they were adding to it, that there would still be another structure going on. And that was my comment. But Ms. Beezer is correct about the fact that her septic is adequate.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any additional questions of the speaker?
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, cool. Hearing none, we have no other additional speakers. Hearing no more additional comments or questions of the commission, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item number 3. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you for speaking. Item number 4.
Item 4 is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to BOS Resolution 96-160, setting forth a zoning use permit for secondary residence in an AR2A, agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone, to amend condition number 1 by eliminating reference to a mobile home, and for an extension of time for zoning use permit on Assessor's Parcel 215-11-264 in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval of the amendment and extension of time as indicated in the staff report. Main concern with condition 1 is that it references a mobile home as a secondary residence. Mobile homes as defined are no longer allowable in the county. They are looking at establishing a travel trailer in place, which is allowable under a zoning use permit, but eventually may replace it with a manufactured home. So removal of the mobile home reference will take care of either eventuality. And the extension of time is basically to remove any question about reestablishment of the home after the prior one burned down and the period that it may not have been used.
So what we're
Thank you.
doing is giving them 6 months to live in the travel trailer and then bring a new unit onto the property? Is that what you're saying?
Mr. Chairman, no, what it says is that within 6 months, they need to reestablish either as a travel trailer or a manufactured home.
Okay.
It will probably be a
Gotcha.
travel trailer initially, but eventually there may be a manufactured home, not a mobile home.
So they got to come back in 6 months?
If they don't get it reestablished, then yes, they would. If they reestablish it, it's done.
Okay, I missed the word "or" there.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
John, on the last item, I just want to make sure I was in favor.
You were in favor?
Yeah, all. So I know there was a misunderstanding. I had a late eye. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Is the applicant present? The applicant is not present, and there are no speakers on the item. Any questions or comments from the commission?
One question. John, all these, it seems like existing problems or situations that we have on these properties, do they have permits? Have they pulled permits on these buildings that they have out there?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Zarmi, let me look at the
It seems they have applied and they have a permit from the environmental health on the septic, but how about the buildings?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Zarmi, I believe that actually the primary residence has a permit. And of course, when they placed the mobile home as a secondary, it had a permit. There may be some other smaller outbuildings. I can't tell from the photo whether they are small enough not to need a permit or whether they actually had a permit.
So John, you're saying that the secondary building has a permit?
The old mobile home that they're replacing had a permit, yes.
So how come they didn't do the rezoning at that time?
They got a zoning use permit
So they had
for the secondary residence. We're amending
Okay,
the resolution on that secondary residence.
great, thank you.
So what you're saying is the secondary residence is still there, and we're giving them a conditional use on the travel trailer?
The secondary residence that was there burned down.
Okay.
They're replacing it.
Okay, all right. All right, the applicant's not here. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Make the motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for item number 4. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5.
Item 5 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 313-70054 from an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR 10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone to allow creation of 3 residential parcels in the Spring Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval of the proposed rezone as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present for item number 5? Would you like to address the commission? Okay. Do we have no other speakers? That's on item number 6.
We are on 6,
We're on 5.
right? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I jumped ahead.
that's all right. Do we have any questions or comments of the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve item 5 per staff recommendations.
A second.
We have a motion and a second for item number 5. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6A.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. This is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Mohave County General Plan from a rural development area land use designation to a rural development area commercial recreation land use designation to allow a bread and breakfast use for assessor's parcel number 333-41-004 in the Valley Vista vicinity. Staff recommends approval as outlined in the staff report. And want to mention, we did receive 1 letter of objection, and we also have received a phone call from a phone call of objection from an adjacent property, or excuse me, a nearby property owner. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission?
Shirley Ancini, I go by Ann. I have nothing to say, but I'm open to questions.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
How many, you said that it's going to be bed and breakfast, how many rooms, what are we talking about? Because I don't have that information here.
We're planning for 10 guest rooms.
10 guest rooms. And the restaurant is going to be open to public?
No,
It's gonna
no.
be private?
We won't be able to serve open to the public. We'll serve meals to our registered guests.
Okay, thank you.
So more of a private kitchen.
Private kitchen, yeah.
Any additional questions of the commission to the speaker? Okay, thank you very much. We have one speaker, Susan Stang.
Good morning. My name is Susan Stang. I live directly south of the proposed lady's property. And in their statement here, they express the tranquility of the area, and I don't see where a bed and breakfast with transient people coming and going, not your neighbors, but just the nature of the beast. These are not people that normally live around your house, are going to be coming and going all the time. And my other concern is when I went down to planning and zoning yesterday and I got the regulations for CRE, what's allowed besides a bed and breakfast, and manufactured home parks, RV parks, and it's like, that sent a chill down my spine. So I said, do they automatically, can they put cement pads and have RVs in there? And the gentleman said, no, they have to get a permit. So then I said, oh, we'll all be notified if they want to do that. And he said, no, the only people that get notified are the ones within like 300 feet of live within 300 feet of where this is going to take place. So I kind of don't think this is going to improve anything in my neighborhood. Anyhow, thank you.
I have a question. You mentioned that you were directly south of the parcel.
Not adjacent. I'm on the south side of Brooks Boulevard. There's a 40-acre piece in between.
Okay.
I'm not very good at public speaking.
That's all right.
Is that all?
Not a problem. Any additional questions of the
Mr.
speaker?
Chairman.
Yes.
And the wineries, are they on Brooks?
Yes.
They are on Brooks, so they have to go past your house to get to the wineries themselves?
Yeah.
I know I've been out there, I just couldn't remember which road they were on.
Yeah.
Any additional questions of the speakers?
Mr. Chairman, yeah, I would like to address these. Are you, I mean, the word transit was used there, but you're looking at more of an upscale type situation here and kind of doing co-marketing with the wineries and with their functions and features that they have available as well?
Right. According to Arizona revised statutes, they don't make any distinction when they lump everything into transient lodging.
Right.
So it doesn't have exactly the connotation that we want to
And that's the point I was trying to get to.
Right.
Your marketing strategy is going to be for more of an upscale type.
Absolutely. Our target market is the income level that we would not, well, by definition, you have to put them into the category of transient, but I would not call them transient by any means. Also, in addition to the marketing with the wineries and the target marketing in general, we don't see that any of our guests would be the kind of that we would not want as neighbors, that we would encourage to visit our neighborhood and perhaps, buy property or contribute to the economy of the local community. We don't anticipate being 100% occupied at first, of course, but as our occupancy grows, we would only be able to accommodate 20 people because it's two people per guest room.
Right.
So we're looking at 10 vehicles, possibly, if people come from different areas, maybe a few more.
And the road your property is not on the county maintenance
It is not.
program right now,
Huntington
correct?
is not at this time. We will be the first people on Huntington, so it's up to us to get that road in shape so our guests will be able to use it. Our guests will not be using Brooks because there's no way to get from Brooks to Huntington. There was no easement allowed for roads. It's just public utilities easements. So our guests would not be using Brooks, and even to get to the wineries, they would go down to the west on Huntington and then turn on Moonscape where the wineries
Come
are.
back that way, okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have a question. Although it has nothing to do with the land use ordinance, basically your clientele that you're trying to attract is going to be because of the winery, or is going to be tourism or golf players or all of the above?
All of the above.
Awesome. That
We're
is
going to
great.
use anything we can to package
Absolutely.
and attract the guests that we want.
Okay, because you didn't mention other aspect of it, but I mean, that is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just, looking at the site plan, just for, public information, it looks like you're building just one big structure. Is that what you're doing?
It is one large, one-level Adobe-style, Santa Fe-style structure. The rooms are, some of them are included in the larger part where there's common areas in the kitchen and everything, library, and then there are 4 that are a little bit separate, and they will have individual access by way of a covered walkway.
Like the little casitas or something like that?
Yeah. And this is also for safety purposes, as far as putting firewalls between the rooms and making sure that they're as safe as possible in the construction of the building.
The road coming into the project there, what are you going to do there? Just for dust control?
You're talking about Huntington?
No, I mean, coming in from Huntington into your property, I mean,
Our driveway?
yeah, your driveway. Huntington's going to be an issue that you're going to have to take care of the dust control on that just for your own
Unfortunately,
guests.
yes.
So what are you going to do for your driveway?
It will be gravelled along the lines of the Stetson parking lot. It's just, we know dust mitigation is an important thing, and we'll be graveling it and pounding it in and making sure that it's as I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but, dust mitigation. If there's a biologically or ecologically and sound product that we can use out there, perhaps shredded rubber or some sort of, vegetable oil, I think there's a product like that can be used also to keep the dust down.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions of the speaker? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments, or not? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item 6A. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion 6A.
Yeah, we definitely should, welcome this kind of investments coming in, and I'm hoping that you're successful, so you'll have more, in that area. Best of luck to you.
Item 6B.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. This is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessors parcel number 333-41-004 from an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone to a CRE 36A commercial recreation 36-acre minimum lot size zone to allow a bread and breakfast use in the Valley Vista vicinity. Staff again recommends approval as outlined in the staff report, and we had the same letter of objection and phone call on this item. Thank you.
The applicant is present. We have one speaker, again, Susan Stang.
It's pretty much ditto from what I was concerned with the first time, but I kind of have a question like...
Please state your name again.
Oh, my name is Susan Stang. That laundry list of things that can be applied for other than just a bed and breakfast, the recreational vehicle park and the motor trailer park and all that kind of stuff. Can things get approved for just like, okay, it's a bed and breakfast, kind of restricted to that, kind of a conditional approval where you can't have all these other things? Is that ever done? I don't know if it's called a deed restriction. So they get what they want, but then it doesn't morph into this big manufactured home park which is also on that list of things under this zoning. Is that ever done?
Well, let me have staff, I think they have to come back, but someone want to take that and just
Mr. Chairman,
explain to her
Commissioners.
exactly how that would work?
It has been known for the commission to put some sort of condition of approval on something for a rezone for a specific use. We typically wouldn't call it a deed restriction that I'm aware of, but maybe I'll hand it down to Ms. Ballard. Thank you.
Different beast altogether.
Yeah, Mr. Flouché, members of the commission, the way the staff recommended approval is currently written, the property would be rezoned for a bed, and breakfast, and associated uses. So that limitation, along with some associated uses, is already in the proposed approval. It also notes that if the conditions are not met within a 2-year period of time, then the county would revert the zoning back to what would be the current zone. So I think the limitations perhaps that the speaker is seeking are already in staff's
I
recommendation.
think her question is what if they want to put an RV park in there in addition to the bed and breakfast?
But it's not yet.
They would have to come back, correct?
Yeah. They would have to amend the resolution that's approved by the board, assuming the board approves the resolution as staff recommends. They would have to come back and amend that resolution, amend that resolution to allow for an RV or manufactured home park. And basically the same notice processes, et cetera, that were done to bring this rezone before the commission would then be done to amend the resolution that was adopted by the board.
Okay, thank you. Does that answer your question? I hope.
Pretty much.
All right. We have no additional speakers. Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make
Good.
I'll make a motion to approve, sorry about that, 6B according to staff recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item 6B. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ms. Ballard had a few comments that she wanted to discuss with the commission. Oh, let's do call to the public first. I forgot.
You want to go get some people?
Go drag them out of the parking lot. We call the public. No one's come forward to speak. So on to item number 8, monthly reports. And we have none. Item number 9, comments from staff. And you got the floor, Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I want to inform the commission that the annual Arizona Planning Association Conference will be held this year from September 25th through 27th. I think we've had a couple of commissioners at least attend the first day or so. Oftentimes with this conference, they will hold a training session for board and commission members. This year they are not doing that. They are now going to every other year for that conference. So the next year that conference will appear will be in 2014. But this year we did program in some funds for some training for commissioners, so I think we estimated we could send up to 4 commissioners to this conference. I don't know if I've already stated the date, but it's September 25th through the 27th. The conference starts bright early in the morning, so we would need to depart on September 24th. The county would provide registration and room and per diem. Travel down to the conference, which is, by the way, is in Scottsdale, would either need to be on, if the commissioner who's attending wants to take their own vehicle, they'd have to pay for their own travel costs down. Otherwise, Luke and I are going, and you can travel with us. And I might add, we're great fun. Um, I gave one of these to the, one of these brochures to the chairman, Mr. Flouché. I have another one here if another commissioner is interested in looking at it. If you would like to see the color version, I'd be more than happy to email you the link to the web page that contains this, and you can view it yourself. It has, the brochure has conference details, what the concurrent sessions are, et cetera. I'm going to ask that you let us know, let either John Ortman or myself know if you're interested in attending the conference, and you do so before September 4th. I believe September 4th is the date, so we can get you, actually, I think I might be telling you wrong. If you do so before, before September 4th, so we can get you registered at the early bird fee. And if more than 4 of you request to go, we're going to be making some tough decisions. Those commissioners who have not been to a similar type of, conference before will take priority. And I cannot speak for the chairman or for Mr. Hunt, but as far as I'm concerned, those today too also get some extra brownie, who attended today, also get some brownie points toward moving to the top of the list. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. And if you want the link to the web page that contains this information, please let me know and I'll be glad to send it to you.
Any volunteers?
Not at this point, I would have to check my schedule, but I would like to say that I went to the last one, and the breakout sessions I learned a considerable amount and were well worth going to. So if you do have the time, I highly recommend it. I know they're not having the commissioner one this year, and that was good stuff as well, but it's definitely worthwhile going.
Well, we have
some
a
valuable
few
stuff.
spots, so.
Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at it if it fits in the schedule, so.
Okay.
I went to one and it was really good. I mean, it was like my first year. I hadn't been here very long at all, and I found it very intriguing and interesting. So I think anyone who hasn't gone, especially the new people coming in, would get a lot out of it.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, let's all get back with Ms. Ballard, and I think we have room for 4 people, is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, yes, that's correct, 4 people, and they can get back either with John Ortman or myself.
So, kind of first come, first served, so reserve your spot.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to point out also on a different topic that there's an annual Route 66 festival that occurs every year, and this past year was in Joplin, Missouri, and it was just announced a week or 2 ago that next year's festival will be here in Kingman. So that's going to be a big to-do festival, and it's going to, they expect it to attract people from all over the world. They're fascinated with Route 66. So, I just wanted to make everybody aware that that's happening next year.
Great, great, sounds like great fun. Having no more business before the
Mr.
commission?
Chairman?
Yes, so, well, what's wrong?
Was waiting for my time.
Okay.
Just want to inform the commissioners that there is a code advisory board ongoing, and their task is to review IBC 2012, which is the building code that Mohave County is trying to adopt, or we, recommend to the Board of Supervisors to adopt. We are getting to the tail end of it, and most probably as soon as we get the approval, I'd like to send all the commissioners a recap of all the review that we've done. We pretty much dissected the IBC 2012. We took all the rough edges out, which is not applicable to our area, and contractors, which would cause some additional cost for the owners, which is not really practical in a way. So hopefully today, if we conclude that, I would be able to forward it to all the commissioners, so you would be able to review it, because that's going to become one of the items on the agenda for the future. So as I said, based on the outcome of our meeting today, this afternoon, if it is approved by the board, definitely I will forward it to all of you, so you would be able to review it and our comments. So it's a kind of a shortcut I've highlighted the areas that we have modified or deviated, so make sure that it would be practical. Thank you.
Okay.
More reading material.
Any additional comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
I guess not.